What's up, everybody? You know what time it is. Friday night, 9 o'clock Central from the forum. Tonight, we're talking trending up and trending down. Who do you need to grab now and who do you need to send down the street? We'll see you. There we go. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Got a crew in the house tonight. Guys, week 2, and it's already an utter mess. And, Brandon coming with the commander shirt. Let me know, are you in mourning right now, knowing your guy's not playing this week? And furthermore, is there a commander offensive player that we want to have stashed for our lineups this week, or is it a avoid all?
I think it's an avoid all. And later in the show, I can tell you all.
Nice. Let's see. We got a couple people in the chat pretty early. See, call me crazy, but I'm considering Wandell over Devonta Smith this week. Hey, look, the Eagles are just not passing the ball, so I don't hate it. Russell Wilson is throwing the ball 450 plus yards. Crazy week for the Giants. And utter, it was sad. It was a sad game. Like, Russell Wilson came in, he threw that, beautiful, ball to Malik Neighbors for the touchdown. And then, the Cowboys came back. Brandon Aubrey kicked the field goal, taking him to overtime. And then it felt like Russell Wilson's A-plus ending to that game just got completely erased in overtime with the backwards pass ended up going out of bounds that cost him a ton of yards. And then, of course, the interception that was way off target. Matt, how'd you feel? How'd you feel about that game?
The only thing I could think about last week was Joe Burrow going down for my Bengals. Once that happened, I was numb. There was no happiness in the world. It was all bad vibes.
Bad vibes.
I just can't get past. I know you said it. Is he in mourning? And I'm feeling for him. But we know Daniels is coming back. And this is the first real, he's not really an injury guy. Burrow, you might as well be digging a grave right now in Cincinnati. Vibes are at all-time lows. I love Jake Browning, but as far as last week goes, I've kind of blocked it out. I didn't even know there was football on.
Also, Tyler, how much money would you have needed to feel comfortable betting on Russell Wilson after 2 weeks leading the league in passing yards?
I wouldn't have made that bet to lead the league in passing yards. But, I knew he was going to throw the ball up, and they like all their receivers are just like speedsters. Like they're
living by the moon ball, they're dying by the moon ball.
Yeah, I knew the moon ball was going to make its resurgence. We were going to see it again. We have seen it again, and I don't think it's done. It was interesting to see them throw Jackson Dart in there a couple times there at the end of the game. I was like, I don't really know what's happening. And then Russ comes in and is like, hey, hold on. And it's just like everything we wanted it to be. I was watching outside, and I like Russell Wilson. He went to high school near where my wife's from. Good dude. I've been a fan for a long time, and that moment was killer because it felt like it was like trending away, even though he was having a crazy game. So if you're in the show right now, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the sub. This is your Q&A show. We're here every week at 9 o'clock. I've got Brandon. I've got Matt with us. Joe, you're riding with me every week. Drop your questions, your start sits, trades, and we will try to get to them. If for some reason you want to skip the line, you can always throw a super chat in there, and we'll get to yours immediately. But, yeah, drop those questions in. I'm going to start rolling through here a little bit. Brent Bradford in the chat traded Pickens and Chubb for CD. Tell me about a sell high. Nick Chubb has a huge 20-something yard touchdown run at the end of the game.
They let him have it. They gave it to him for free.
But it was great. And then Pickens had almost just as many targets as CD in a complete throwing it game, and you turn around and you dish that for CD, especially if you have a deep lineup. I love it. Great job.
Getting CD out of those two. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I'm curious to see, Brent, what your roster looks like, but I mean that's pretty impressive to get that done.
Brent, you should be ashamed of yourself. That is robbery.
Well, I was good on his. I won't say whoever got CD on they good on their part. Okay, Brent did that. Then I don't agree with that.
Hey, look, this is that whole, the theme of tonight's show is trending up, trending down. CD had that first game, had a ton of drops.
Mm-hmm.
Pickens comes in, he gets his first touchdown. Chubb comes in, he gets a touchdown. If that person's weak at like running back, especially, they're probably like, oh man, like they got the same workload, CD and Pickens. Pickens can get a touchdown any given week. Like I can see them talking themselves into it. And I'm probably sitting there going, yeah. Pickens could get, he's going to get 10 targets every week. I love it. Like Nick Chubb,
Bradley's special right here.
He's the truth for the Texans. Like it is the only running back they got. Like it. I can see the narrative building, and if I got CD out of it, I'd be super hyped.
No, I already know. If this was you, Tyler, you would have sent two things. You would have sent a video of Nick Chubb squatting 600 pounds, and then you would have sent a video of George Pickens doing like some weird George Pickens stuff. It was like, he's an alien, bro. You need to have him, and then it'd be like, done deal.
I don't think you had. I think the narrative sold itself. You don't have to sell it. All right, got Kanoa built in the chat. Would you drop Dante Thornton, De'Ami Brown, or Kirk for Hunt half-point PPR?
De'Ami Brown's been he's been targeted a lot. That's something I have noticed. Seeing with Jacksonville's offense.
Out of these, I think I want Kirk to hit the road for me.
Yep.
Anyways,
that's where I'm at.
Yeah. I think Thornton, he's getting. The targets. There was 3 potential bomb touchdown throws that he just didn't come up with. So Gino's looking for him downfield, and all you need is one. And it's solid. De'Ami Brown almost had 2 touchdowns. In fact, they ran the exact same play. And the second time he dropped the ball, but would have had 2 touchdowns. Would have been an incredible week to own him. The Texans are just having trouble with the ball in the air. Yeah. And I think it's going to be hard for Kirk to supplant Jaden Higgins to be relevant. Like Higgins isn't really relevant. Noel's not really relevant. Like Schultz is barely relevant in a tight end wasteland. It's Collins is the one you want, and even then the Texans are looking rough right now. But it's
Kirk using the Bengals model of protecting their quarterback.
Anybody else got a different perspective other than Kirk?
I don't know what's wrong with the Texans offense. Definitely thought they would have been more explosive this year on offense, but it just doesn't look. It don't look good at all.
No,
at all.
Albert's in the house. What's up, fellas? Glad for Albert tuning in. All right, so Brandon, I'm gonna throw this over to you.
Yeah. What's up?
Hurts or Browning this week? Hurts against the Rams, maybe a bad matchup. Do we think that Browning is the answer? And Matt, really, I probably should throw this over to you, Mr. Bengals fan. But we'll get Brandon's perspective, and then we'll hear yours on who you're starting this week. Probably redraft.
So, who are the Bengals playing this week? Remind me.
Minnesota. I'm
going to tell you why I'm going to go Jalen Hurts, just simply with the rushing ability. But I will say with Jake Browning, we saw this in 2023 when Joe Burrow went out. He came in the last 6 or 7 games. Jamar Chase, was still balling, still putting up good numbers. So I still think Jamar Chase will put up good numbers, but knowing we have to push, knowing we have Jalen's running ability, I'm still going to take him. And plus, whoever got Jalen Hurts, you got him in as early as the 2nd round, as late as the 4th round. So, start him. I wouldn't think twice about it. Start him. That's my opinion.
I think the one thing that's interesting about Browning, I feel like the only way that I feel comfortable playing him is if it's a 6-point touchdown league, because he is a very screw it, I'm throwing this ball. I don't care. And it's like he'll put up points, but he'll also have interceptions. So it's like if he's going to have 2 interceptions in a game and you're only getting 4-point passing touchdowns, he's going to have to do a lot to make up for the mistakes that he's going to make. So I feel a lot better with him depending on your settings. But yeah, I tell that.
Yeah.
I'm going with Jalen Hurts here, and it kind of goes back to what Brandon said about just you know who he is. You're going to get the rushing upside with him. If they fall on the 1 yard line, most teams would give it to Saquon Barkley, but not the Eagles. The Eagles are going to push it in, and that's Jalen Hurts. It's a cheat code.
Yeah.
I'm a Bengals fan. I think that Browning is going to be an effective quarterback in this offense, and I do believe he's going to be a viable fantasy option because of that. Backup quarterbacks don't usually get extensions. After the 2023 season, they signed Browning, and it actually was semi-controversial because it's Cincinnati. That's what we do with free agents. But we brought on a position that's typically a lease, year-to-year lease type of a position. They invested in him for the long term, not only because of Joe Burrow's inability to stay on the field, but also because of how he handled that offense. And I agree with what you said too as well, Joe. He is kind of a sporadic player. He's not Joe Burrow. But I don't believe the offense is going to be like a Joe Burrow offense. I believe they're going to change it to maximize the skill set that Jake Browning has. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be a lot of quick hitters and a lot of things close to the line of scrimmage. And I think it's going to center around about 3 to 4 players as far as weapons go.
I agree.
But I'm going Hurts.
Yeah, Hurts, you got to go rushing upside there. I drafted Hurts and Scott Fishbowl mostly for the rushing first down bonus because I knew there would be lots of tush pushes. And so I would rack up like 3 points every time they did one.
You went double QB too, right?
Say what?
You went double QB too, right?
I did. I went Hurts and so I went Josh Allen, and then I got Hurts in the second round. Oh, yeah. That's in there.
Spicy for those kind of points.
We're in there. All right. Keep moving. So Adam A, 123 in the chat. Should I trade Jonathan Taylor for Bucky and J-Mo?
No.
Oh,
I would do it.
I would do it.
Ooh, 2-on-2 here. Let's go.
Jonathan Taylor up before this James Cook continuing to prove people wrong kind of week. His expected fantasy points per game has been 20.9, which is right up there, top of the league. He and I just need to just like address this before I keep going. This comment by Aaron is so funny. So for people that are on the radio, if Browning is playing the Little Giants and Hurts is playing the entirety of the Imperial Army, it still hurts. Like I'm crying. I'm crying right now. That is so funny. I love Aaron St. Dennis, top 5 IDP ranker. No big deal. He's a legend. But yeah, JT, like I love that offense. Yes, they have Vanilla Vic, if you will, but even with his 3 touchdowns, Jonathan Taylor's still getting a lot of work. He's a good passing, like receiving back, and he's just making it work. I love that team. I love the O-line. I think that offense is legit. And Bucky, he's in a split situation, and J-Mo is just gonna be very volatile week to week. So give me the dog. I'll take Jonathan Taylor all day. I think he's the most underappreciated running back in this league.
Preach.
Yeah. So you switched then?
No, I'm on the JT side.
I also thought that.
Yeah, okay. I was on the JT side, so I thought.
I was reading it backwards. I'm on the Jonathan Taylor side.
Okay, me too. I'm on the Jonathan Taylor side too. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm the only one on the island then.
So
state your case, brother.
I'm an island boy. Well, Tyler, why are you gonna do it?
I don't mind being on the island. Look, Bucky Irvin is both. I mean, you look at what week 1, 18 points, week 2, like 20 points, 22 points, depending on your scoring. Like you're gonna get solid running back performance. And Jonathan Taylor making it through a full season is always a question mark.
Whoa. Pause. Jonathan Taylor didn't ever miss a game in the history of his football career until 2 years ago. So don't even hit me with this. He's an injury-prone player.
Ooh. I did not know that.
I'm hitting you with the injury-prone player. He's missed time every single season.
No, the last 2 seasons he has. But up until those last 2
seasons. 2022, he missed 3 games. No, sorry, 6 games. 2023, he missed 4, 5, 6, 7 games. 2024, he missed 3 games.
And he's missed no games this year.
And that was
there's only been 2.
And that was the year he was the consensus 1, right?
Look. So what I'm saying is, to me, the last 3 years have had injuries of at least missing 3 weeks, or So to me, to give up a Jonathan Taylor. Now, granted, I would like a different wide receiver in this deal than JMO, because JMO to me is so boom or bust. I would like somebody a little bit more consistent. I might even would take if it's not dynasty, I might even would take like a Bucky and a Debo. Call me crazy.
Debo is now the leading wide receiver / running back in Washington.
But what I'm saying is that sounds just as doable as Bucky and JMO, and like I wouldn't mind doing that deal. And Jonathan Taylor, because Jonathan Taylor and Bucky to me are very similar. You're going to get very similar production.
I disagree with that.
I do feel like the coach.
But you're living off 1 week. You're like last week. This is the trending up topic, okay? Last week, Jonathan Taylor had 165 yards, and I mean a huge amount of points. Like he had a great week. The week
against
before that,
a really good Denver defense. Keep that in mind.
Denver's linebacker core is terrible though, so it's like if you're going to attack Denver, it needs to be through the ground.
But you look at the week before, and he had 71 yards, averaged less than 4 yards a carry against a Miami defense that James Cook just lit up, right? Like, so it's give and take, right? Like, but that's the trend up, trend down topic. Bucky, on the other hand, has had his first game was also not great, and second game very similar against a strong Houston defense. So it's to me, there's.
I got a question for you then. This is kind of I see what you mean by them being kind of close to one another in production, and you're probably leaning more Bucky to stay healthy more so than Taylor because of age. If both of them are healthy for a full season, who would you take? You take Jonathan Taylor, and you take him and you don't think about it. And it's because when Jonathan Taylor can put together those high volume carry seasons, he's a true league winning type of running back because he's never taken in that first round, and everybody's always nervous to do it in the second round. But if you get Jonathan Taylor and he's healthy, you are never having a lineup decision to make week to week. And even when he's kind of dinged up, when he plays, he's good. And I'm with you. It's not always there.
Didn't Rachaad White score on Monday night as well?
He did, but that's okay. They're running the football. Like, what I'm saying is it's not I'm not in disagreement. For me, there's a twinge towards the injury. There's similar value. I do take Jonathan Taylor completely healthy, but the other side is I have a kicker of a strong wide receiver too. So if I get a strong wide receiver too, especially if I'm any bit depleted in my flex, if I took Travion Henderson and I'm not getting what I need out of him yet, like
this is this week according to every fantasy football analyst ever.
Well, let's hope so. Dear Lord, he got me kicked out of my chop league.
Full disclosure, I'm in Indianapolis, so just want to throw the bias out there. There is a bias.
Let's see. Keep rolling. Sorry guys if we're rolling through the questions. We spent a minute on that one. So let's see here. We got start 2. Benson, Renfro, Tracy, Tootin, Harvey.
What a brutal list.
No.
Jeez.
I think you got to go Benson and Tracy. And I hate the Tracy one, but the upside's there.
I hate the Tracy one too because I was surprised at how much they're starting to use scat.
Yeah, it's over. It's already switched. That's done. I don't see. And Benson went what? He had like 11 yards.
He had 3 carries last game, but the previous game he had 8 carries, and he had that one big run.
I always get concerned about wide receivers who do a lot, like in the garbage time fourth quarter. You look at like Keon Coleman week 1, fourth quarter, like he blew up and has done like nothing else. Hunter Renfro, like 2 touchdowns last week. It's like, is it really sustainable or was it garbage time? But in a PPR format, I think out of all of these players who probably aren't going to get a lot of run, Benson's not getting a lot of run. Tracy's not getting a lot of run. Tootin, like he had the touchdown last week. He could continue to flash. There's a path to relevance for him now. And then Harvey, it's like, he had that big run, and they're like, you know what? We're just going to not use you this week. So like, I don't really have a lot of confidence. To me, I'd probably go Renfro Tootin just because I feel like they have the most carved out roles in their offense.
It's Tracy Tootin for me for the PPR format. Tracy had 4 receptions for 36 yards last week, even though it was rough. sledding. He was also going to get some carries. It's those two for me. I just can't.
Carolina plays Atlanta this week, and Atlanta is down A.J. Terrell at corner.
Yeah.
AJ Terrell wouldn't be on him anyways, right?
E-Mac is going to get 20 targets this week.
I'm just saying, next man up. So he's getting a backup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. Dynasty, Mad Scientist, Genty or Igbuka, and 2:26 seconds.
Ooh.
Give me Igbuka and the seconds.
Yep.
Here's
Which sounds weird.
It's not weird. The life expectancy of a running back is much shorter, especially one that gets used and abused in a Raiders offense. Ask Darren McFadden.
Arkansas love.
But Tyler, here's the other thing.
Ask John Jacobs.
So let's just think about the dichotomy of this trade, right? So if you are trading Genty, you had the worst team in your league last year, and it's probably not going much better because your first overall pick isn't performing like you were hoping that he would. So one of those 2 seconds is basically an end of the first, assuming that you still have one of those picks. So to me, it's like as long as one of those seconds is like the Genty second, then I'm all on board because that team probably is still going to suck.
I agree, especially with the life expectancy of the running back position. I mean, Ibuka. Obviously, we know Chris Godwin's coming back, but we know in the next 2 or 3
I'm not worried about Godwin.
Godwin's whole foot fell off.
Zero worries about Godwin coming back in that offense, especially, what's been crazy is the usage of Mike Evans. I think next year you're not even looking like that offense looks completely different as far as the pass catchers. Like this to me is a move. You set yourself up at wide receiver for years. You get 2 seconds. Seconds are known to bring good wide receivers. You can even get decent running backs in the second round. You can get the top tight end typically in the second round, unless it's like a phenom talent like Bowers or something like that. Laporta was a 3rd round pick. There's a lot of possibility there, and you're still maintaining your picks. So like you're getting them and you still got your first. Now, if I can somehow push the envelope on those seconds and maybe get one of them moved up.
There's no way.
I thought about that. If you can get one of them, I did think about that.
Look, Joe, I'm going to try it. Don't tell me not to try it.
Like, I'm gonna try it. If you're going to try it, don't try for a 2026 first.
Dude, I'm going to do
keep your 2 2026 firsts or seconds. Just give me 1 2027 first.
Look, at the end of the day, this guy probably came for Genty. Like he probably came to get Genty. This guy's not trading Genty away. He spent the first overall pick on him. Like he's like this guy's coming for Genty. So I'm gonna make him pay for Genty because let him think that Genty is a buy low.
That's what I'm saying. Like I would rather do like Igbuka in a 2027 first than the 2 seconds. I don't really value anything beyond the first round in Dynasty unless it's like a very early pick. Like to me, like 3rd round and below like doesn't even count. Yeah, people are like, oh yeah, well I picked like Puka Nakua. It's like sure you did, like whatever. Like there's so many people that bust out like beyond like 2-4 and even beyond like before that. So it's like I don't really care. Genty is still doing his thing. If you look at his like yards before,
dude, he's been running folks over.
Yeah.
But it's like his yards before contact has been like 4 yards on the season. So it's like it's not like his problem. He's gonna be fine.
Dude, he looks like a freaking bowling ball, though. I will give him that. Like the amount of people I've seen him run over this season, like isn't happening.
So important point of clarification: Genty was a startup pick, not from a last place manager. So I would stick with Genty though.
I still want a boot.
Remember, value is always in the hands of the buyer, not the seller.
That's true.
All right, keep it moving. Redraft: Jennings or Bill and Kirk. Kirk is a droppable for me. So it's really between Bill or Jennings. And
No. It's Jennings or Bill and Kirk.
I know, but I'm saying is Kirk is a non-factor in the trade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So would you trade Bill straight up?
I think the Bill side's the better side, but I don't feel comfortable with it.
And I think with Bill, coming from a Commanders, I think we got to give it a little bit of time.
I like Bill as running backs fall off, running backs don't, and so I like having a good plethora of running backs so that we can make trades later on.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. Diami, Tracy, or Dobbs, Romeo Dobbs. I always mess up his name. To me, it's Dobbs.
Yeah.
Dobbs. I think it's pretty comfortable too.
Yeah, Connor or Monty, Matt. Since you're Matt Monty,
wow. I'm gonna go against my fellow Monty here and go with Connor because I just can't quit the guy. I think that he's old. Man. He's old, reliable.
They both feel extremely touchdown dependent. So the question is, who do you think gets in the end zone this week?
I think Lions. Then, if you're having me pick it like that, it would be the Lions.
Against the Ravens.
Ravens D. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know. I just don't trust Kyler to be able to get them down the field consistently. So it'll be dependent upon a long rushing touchdown for Connor, and I definitely don't believe he can do that. I do think that David Montgomery still has a little bit of red zone value where he can break off one of those 15-yard touchdown runs that you aren't expecting. That kind of just happens. But the Ravens defense, it's pretty good, but I think you can pass on them, and I think if you can get down the field, it's anybody's game in the red zone.
What's been interesting about the Ravens defense, and while I'll go with Connor, the Ravens defense, where they've been giving up the majority of their fantasy points, so they're in the top 5 of points against for fantasy running backs and PPR. But they have given up the most receptions in the league with 17 receptions for 103 yards and a touchdown. So the majority of the work that you're seeing as like the matchup for the Ravens has kind of been those dump off sort of plays, which feeds much more into the Gibbs game. So let me roll with Connor there.
Yeah.
Okay. Monty averaged 5 yards a carry last week. Now granted, it was the poorest Chicago defense, but it's close for me. I think it's going to be end zone. And I think I just like Monty to get in the end zone over Connor against, Connor. They're playing San Francisco. He's got to go through Fred Warner, and I just don't see it happening. That guy's everywhere. Over on Twitch, start or sit Chase Brown. Look, if you would, go ahead and drop us a little bit of context. We'll come back to your question, but give us an idea of what your roster is. I think it's a start Chase Brown on a generic, running back chart. Like, he's going to be a sit and leave it guy, even though you haven't gotten everything you wanted out of him. But give us the rest of your roster, and we can give you a little bit more context on that. Let's see here. Back up. London or Tet this week. Joe, I think you already said you're pretty high on the Tet side of it. Are you high enough to take him over London?
Man, these are the questions that we get paid so much money to answer. So if we think about the matchups, right? So you have Falcons versus the Panthers. The Panthers have been dog water defending right? And then you have the Panthers going up against the Falcons. Brandon already pointed out they're going to be down AJ Terrell. They're going to have backups on. I have to roll. Honestly, I'm going to roll with Tet, and here's why. So the Panthers play cover 3 about 45% of the time, and that is where London actually struggles the most. If you look at his fantasy points per route run, per fantasy pointsdata.com, he only puts up about 0.12 points per route run in cover 3. Kyle Pitts is actually the best beneficiary of the cover 3 defense that the Panthers run wholeheartedly. So Kyle Pitts, top 5 play for me this week. I think Tet is going to get the ball early, often, all day. So it's maybe a bit of a hot take, but I think the T-Mac gets it done.
Are they playing in Atlanta or in Carolina?
They're going to be playing in Carolina.
I think Drake London have a bounce back game. He didn't play too good against the Vikings. I expect Drake London to bounce back, and partly because I got him in my fantasy draft. So
it's a little biased there.
A little biased from there. So, but Tevin Ball, I think he was 6 for 100 last week. So, but I mean, this is really close. But I think I'm gonna go Drake London. This is a really close one.
When I have one like this that to me feels close, I always try to think game script, right? And like I believe that Atlanta can score without having to throw the ball to Drake London a lot. And I think that Carolina still ends up in another game of playing catch up. And that makes me lean a little bit. Now, granted, game script is not always promised, but I try to think about that. Like even when I place my bets, when freaking I did when Buffalo played Baltimore, Baltimore was up 30, or up, in that game, I knew that it was gonna be Josh Allen throwing the ball a ton. So I dropped a pretty big bet on a Josh Palmer over 11.5 receptions. He finished the fourth quarter with like almost 70 yards receiving. Like I knew that they were going to have to throw and they were going to have to do it. So like you kind of got to lean game script a little bit. And I just think that Carolina is going to have to play catch up to keep up with Atlanta. And Atlanta's run defense is much better than their pass defense currently. So I think that they're going to have to go to the air. So that's leans me Tet in this one. Mad Scientist, I'm gonna owe Joe so my beers at the expo next year. Thank everybody. It figured out I'm paying them to say nice things about me. That is true.
The problem is he pays me in Canadians, so it's not worth as much right now.
He paid you with that Burt t-shirt you got on there.
Hey.
All right, Matt, Jelly of the Month in the chat said both my quarterbacks out.
Great name, by the way. Great name.
Mariota, Love, Penix, Browning, and Stafford are available. In a hole from yesterday, 6-point passing touchdowns. Who do you want?
I think you got to go Love here. I really like what Green Bay's doing all the way around. I think there's a real opportunity that we see this offense finally reach a peak we haven't seen post Aaron Rodgers. The receivers around him, I think last year, they all were viewed as very high-quality number 2 receivers, but there really wasn't an emerging star. And while I felt like that was a detriment, I think we're seeing the offense grow and mature, and I don't necessarily think they need a star if Jordan Love is playing at this level. They've got a solid run game that you have to address. You can't just sit back in coverage, and I think with Josh Jacobs being able to open up the passing lanes and Jordan Love playing at the clip he's playing currently and that defense giving them confidence on offense, I could see them raising the ceiling for their expectations as a team this season. It would not shock me to see them come out of the NFC if they currently play the way that they are playing. So give me Jordan Love the rest of the year. I think we're going to see the true breakout this season.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that call. I think that's pretty given for me. Oliver on Twitch, you handy gecko said y'all answer questions here. Yes, we do. Drop them in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Like I said, if you want us to bump to your question pretty quickly, just do a super chat and we'll get to it immediately. But yeah, so drop your questions in and we're good to hit. Keep going here. All right, so Dave Flynn said, what's up, guys? Thanks, Dave Flynn. Thanks for tuning in. You're the man. Who should I start in my flex? Judy, Sutton, Benson, Troy Franklin, Mooney, or Wandale? What a list.
I'm going to go Wandale. I was thinking
the same thing. I was thinking Wandale. I either wanted Wandale or I wanted a shot at one of the Denver guys, Troy, if I need a big day, like if I need like a 50-yard bomb, I don't think Sutton's current output is going to be relative to what he's going to get all season.
How was the Chiefs' pass defense? How are they?
It hasn't been great. If you look at what they've given up in the first 2 weeks, they had that bloodbath of a game against the Chargers. Quentin Johnston and Keenan Allen both found the end zone. Quentin Johnston finding it twice. Philly didn't really do a whole lot in the air, but they're giving up about 15% more than the average defense.
You did say PPR on that.
Okay,
yeah. I mean, Wandale's been getting the targets like crazy, so it's hard to kind of go against that. It doesn't feel sexy, but like he's a bit of like a salute for just kind of being like a PPR merchant. So that offense is very hyper targeted between Malik Neighbors and Wandale right now. So I like the play. I think Denver, like I like picking up Troy Franklin to see what happens, but it's going to be a one week wonder.
Yeah.
Mooney, like I don't have a lot of confidence in. Judy is interesting, but there's just Joe Flacco has not impressed me so far, and the Packers defense is just nasty. So it's like, I don't want any part of that
at all.
Wandale, it's like you got to go one. Eight targets game 1, 10 targets last week.
And he did that last year too. Like it's nothing new for him.
Freaking
like,
142 yards.
Yeah.
He is always targeted, but this year it's actually more than 2 yards down the field. So that's kind of exciting. You're getting to see what he can be as an actual receiver.
Yeah.
All right. Hitting over off Twitch. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button over at Twitch. Need help with some start sits. Need 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. So we're going to have to kind of hit this quick. Joe, running backs, Saquon, Breece, K9. Who do you want?
All right, so running backs, you have to play Saquon. You also have to play Kenneth Walker, knowing that Charbonnet is not playing this week. So that's your that's your 2 starting running backs right there. Like pretty.
I think the other one's an automatic for the flex. What do you think? All 3 running backs in the starting lineup?
Yeah.
And if I could throw this point in there really quick, the Steelers have given up over 100 yards to.
Hey.
Talk about the yellow and black over.
I just want to point that out.
So the question is, out of BTJ, Ladd, and Pickens, I think it would have been.
needs to ride the pine pony right now until we see it.
Yep.
Oh, that's so hard to do.
It's hard to do. I mean, Ladd honestly hasn't been that much better, but Pickens against Chicago, you have to play him.
I would agree.
That game is going to be a shootout.
DJ Moore against the Cowboys.
Right. So it's like, to me, it's between BTJ and Ladd. I wouldn't play Breece Hall this week. I would. To me, like,
I did not know that was DJ Moore. I thought Elijah Moore for some reason.
I would go Saquon, K9, Ladd, Pickens, Moore.
I'm playing
the bench against Vita Vea is just a run stuffer. He's too good.
Greinberg in the chat. What's up? Happy Friday.
Yeah. What's
Hope
up?
that answers your question. So all 3 running backs, and then it looks like it, kind of tears down in your order for the most part that you have them. Brawley over on Twitch. Yo, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see.
Did you get Kyle Siebert's question, the Xavier Worthy, AJ Brown?
Yeah, that's the next one I was getting to. Okay. Kyle Siebert audio. Appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button. We got 20 people tuned in right now. Appreciate the love. Hit the like, hit the sub. What are your thoughts on Xavier Worthy and AJ Brown? I can just answer this quick since we have a lot of questions. I don't want Eagles receivers right now. They are run heavy, whether it's quarterback run, whether it's running back run. They're run heavy, and where it feels the opposite for the Chiefs. It feels like they've yet to really establish a run game, and so they're having to go through the air. I think they want Worthy involved. The injury early with the Travis Kelce deal, that I think that hurt his stock, but I definitely want Xavier Worthy in my starting lineup. AJ Brown is a sell for me. If you can sell him while there's still somebody that's really high on him, I would. I think he's going to have his pop-off games, but you're not going to get consistency. And in fantasy, you need a little bit of consistency with a ceiling. And I don't think his pop-off games are near the ceiling of Xavier Worthy's pop-off games. Just my thoughts. Anybody got a different opinion?
I like it.
This is the last week I'm rolling with AJ Brown. If it doesn't turn around this week, I'm out.
Got Amber Alert in the chat with the super chat. Appreciate the love. Okay, Homer Joe, tell your boys to get it together.
Hey, here's the thing though. Derek Harmon's coming back from injury. He sprained his MCL in the preseason. I think that's going to do a lot of good for the defensive line. Also, they're saying that they couldn't communicate because the fans were too loud. First world problems for being a Steelers fan, which isn't true because most of the season ticket holders are like 65 and like don't know that anybody's really doing anything. And they only start cheering once they run out of Candy Crush lives. But, I think the defense has better days ahead of them.
All right. Got Inner Lotus in the chat. Hi, what's up?
Hi.
Thanks for tuning in. Brawley in the chat. Yo. He says, start one, Kyron Williams, Jordan Mason, or ETN. Matt, give it to us hot.
Kyron.
Oh, that's so hard to do after 2 bum weeks.
I just think you can't give up on him yet. It's too early. If you at the end of the year saw that Kyron Williams had 2 bad games, they just happened to fall week 1 and week 2, you'd love that season.
All right. Keep rolling. Jelly of the month said, oh, no, we already hit this one. Let's see.
Be Dave. Who do I go? My
Billy.
That's
Billy
fake.
Mike.
That guy puts a fake news every podcast that I'm on. I don't know why he follows me around.
I think it's amazing. I love fake news.
He said that Anthony Richardson got traded to the Bengals on Wednesday, and I was like,
What?
okay. It's so weird.
Dude, I'd stop watching.
I told him that his mom was at HLE.
All right, Dave Flynn said, who do I go at quarterback in my suit? You know, of course we're going to get a ton of quarterback questions with freaking the quarterback.
It was QB Apocalypse last week.
Yeah, it was awful. Superflex in my second spot. I have Mac Jones in there at the moment, but Mariota is out there along with Rattler, Cam Ward, Wentz, and Tyrod. I think you're good with Mac. Second choice would be Cam Ward for me.
The only problem with Ward is that he's taking
I don't know Wentz though
right now.
Oh, God.
Well, I think Brock Purdy got a little bit of the medicine of seeing Mac Jones play well in that offense, so I wouldn't be shocked if he started playing quicker than they originally thought, just out of pride.
Yeah, Mac Jones though, best
bet. Mac Jones,
he's back.
No, so okay. So we're sticking with Mac Jones here.
Yeah.
Okay. So consensus: don't fiddle with it, or what do they call it? Don't change your lineup last second.
Don't tinker with your roster.
Yeah, don't tinker with your lineup. You're good. You went with your gut. You got Mac Jones in there. Don't second guess it because everybody else is out there on the wire. He said Fields was my guy, but out with concussion. Yeah, it's a sad day for you. Baltimore or Chiefs defense? Man, a defense question.
Ooh.
What's up, Matt? Hit it.
Yeah.
Baltimore Chiefs D.
Always Baltimore. I like the Chiefs D. I love Baltimore's.
Against the Lions, though,
I still think you have a bigger opportunity for big plays with Baltimore, regardless of who they're playing against. The Chiefs only have one real credible defender, and it's Chris Jones.
I don't know. I think the Chiefs could get a few sacks this week.
I think that Russ could do Russell Wilson things like post-prime Russ against.
I think you get some Karlaftis, you get some Chris Jones, you get a little bit of sack city from the Chiefs. Although I like Baltimore. Baltimore's defense is usually like a sit it and forget it type defense.
Last week they scored a touchdown. I know you got to count on touchdown regression for defenses too, right?
Yeah. Okay. Keely West, full PPR, start 2. Sutton, Swift, Jalen Warren.
Can I keep the homer train going? The person that I feel the most confident out of those 3 is Jalen Warren. I think he's a must start this week. He has a great matchup. He's been getting talked up all week by Aaron Rodgers. Everybody drafted Caleb Johnson way too early this year. I've been telling them all off season. They got to wait until he learns how to pass protect. And then he forgot the rules on kickoffs.
I was going to ask you about Caleb Johnson.
I'm so happy he's going to get the run, and he's getting the pass work. He's a great PPR play. Go for it. And then a Swift and Sutton, that's a bit more of a toss-up for me, so I'll leave the hard one for everybody else.
So a little bit on that Baltimore. Bruss said Baltimore's pass D is terrible. Dave Flynn said leaning on Chiefs defense, but I feel the same as Matt. You got to start Baltimore. I don't mind the Chiefs in this game, but Matt, can you sell us on Baltimore? Just give us the heat of it. Why Baltimore over the Chiefs?
Well, for one, they're coached by a Harbaugh, and I know that Andy Reid is an offensive schematic genius. Harbaugh, they are old school football coaches, and old school football was punch you in the face and run the ball. And I think that mentality, it's kind of ingrained in what the Ravens do. They want to be a hard-nosed, fast, high-flying defense. They've got playmakers at every level. I think that Justin Madubuike and the interior defensive line for them is very good. Roquan Smith is my favorite linebacker. IDP pop here. He's my linebacker 1 in IDP.
Love
and then
Roquan.
Kyle Hamilton is just a dog. I keep calling him Nick Hamilton. This is the second show in 2 days that I've done that. But Kyle Hamilton, the safety, he is one of the better young safeties in the league. So when you have a playmaker and a star player at each level, I just love to respect the defense. That's why I also love Denver as well.
I'm still so mad that they let Kyle Hamilton fall to the 14th pick in that made me so angry.
Yeah.
Well, Washington should have got him, but
I almost named my son Roquan. I'm just saying.
It's not too late. You can change your child's name 3 times before they have psychological issues from it.
All right, keep moving. Curly-headed fox. Who should I flex
That's
in
a
half
crazy
PPR?
name.
Monty, Bill, or Juwan Johnson?
Ooh,
be
I'm
hard
going
not to
Juwan.
Yeah.
I like Juwan too, but it's hard not
Here's
to
the
like
thing.
Bill.
Out
Is
of
gonna
respect,
work.
you have to put Bowers as the flex player because he's really the wide receiver, and then you put Juwan at tight end. You can't put
Oh, my
Juwan as the
goodness.
flex guy because he doesn't deserve it. But I like the play. His target share has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's why I love him right now. Spencer Rattler doesn't have a lot of options there. They have 2 or 3, and Juwan just happens to be one of those.
Mhm.
See, B Silva in the chat. What would you trade JJ down to in a 1-for-2 deal redraft? So
Where's
What-
Ty
you're
when you need him?
yeah, if you're gonna trade JJ, what are you looking to get?
I
Daniel
hope he's talking
Jones.
about McCarthy.
If he's talking about Jefferson, what's
I had to make sure on that too. Like, okay, yeah.
what's a deal you would be willing to do in a JJ trade? Maybe just like off the top. I mean, that's a pretty broad question. Maybe off the top of your head, real quick. Matthias
Well,
and
if you're
Travion
tearing-
Henderson
so
for a
basically, if
bag
you're
of
tearing
chips.
down a level for a wide receiver, you're looking at what, like maybe Devontae Adams and a running back.
I would like
If I
to
can,
go ahead.
if I can tear down at receiver and tear up at another position, that's kind of how I would view that trade. So if I went and I was like, all right, I'm going to tear down and I'd like you to give me, and I'll just because the names on my mind, I want AJ Brown and James Conner. If I can get plays like that.
I don't want any AJ Brown.
See, I like the stability of the running back in James Conner, but
What
I know
about,
you guys aren't a fan.
JJ and a Devontae Adams, and I have to think of a running back.
I mean, I think what about like Amon Ra and Travion?
I don't think that's is that enough of a tear down? I mean, it could, and then Travion.
Well, it's not a tear down; it's a tear down from JJ. Like whoever's hype on JJ, like right, it's JJ. So like you're gonna get one of your guys. Like you may even get an Amon Ra plus, there.
What about JSN?
I would do that. JSN and like a decent running back. I'm in.
Yeah, I'll be in on that.
Jason
But I would want somebody that's proven or like has done enough, like a JSN, Devontae, Garrett Wilson. You could excite me with that. Like what I don't want to do is be like, oh, like Hollywood Brown or like
who's gonna do that?
I mean? Like don't do something
Nobody's
like
gonna
that.
do
That's
that.
got that good week 1,
All right, we got to keep moving so we can try to get to as many of these questions as possible. We are in what we call speed mode. We have about 12 minutes left in the show, so we're gonna have to hammer through these. So if you're on Twitch, you're on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you're not already, and we will try to land your question. You know what I like? I like that our streaming software now lets us know when somebody subscribes. So if you subscribe and I get the alert, I will go to your question immediately if I can find it.
He also might twitch a little bit because it takes up his whole screen.
It does take up my whole screen. Albert said full PPR, pick 2, full PPR, BTJ, Devontae, Cortland Sutton. Give me BTJ for the resurgence and Devontae Adams.
Agreed.
I play Cortland Sutton because I'm a coward, but y'all go ahead and live your lives.
Jacob Diaz, Devonta Smith, and Baker for Jacoby Myers. I have Josh Allen already, so I want somebody else. Like, level me up. Like, I don't know. Like, you could probably get Jacoby Myers straight for Devonta Smith. Like,
but why did you draft Baker to begin with?
Yeah.
Why are you hating on Baker, bro?
Because he had Josh Allen. You didn't need a backup.
He probably got him late. But I mean, Baker's sitting at QB8.
Well, if he can turn him into Jacoby Myers, I think he's smart.
Yeah, if Baker's sitting at QB8 right now, he's thrown. I mean, he's thrown for at least 2 touchdowns in every game.
I like Baker, but it's just like I wouldn't have drafted another quarterback at all if I had Josh Allen.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
But you know me, Jacoby Myers. I'm a whore for high floors. Judge Jody, what's up? So I'm in support of that trade.
Get me out of here. All right. Inner Lotus. I have K9, Dobbins, Scatabo, and Judkins. Should I drop Judd or Scat for RJ Harvey? Someone dropped him, and I have priority 5.
No.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't do it.
Judkins already took over the lead back role.
Dude, let me tell you,
Scadabo's already taken over the Giants role.
the little bit of Judkins we got, like, is I'm ready. Like it's gonna be the Browns, no pass catchers, and all running the ball. That's just it. They're gonna run the
like
ball.
a day one Judd kid.
Yeah, it just happened too late. Dang, chop league. Okay. Flex Dobbins or Sutton? Give me Dobbins for the TD.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yep.
He's also been the bell cow for that offense too.
I know, man. And who would have known?
Tyler.
Just, dude, Dobbins is like one of those players that just never got the respect he deserved because of injuries. That guy has gone to multiple offenses, still has yet to average less than like 4 yards a carry off of like 5 bum knees or however many it's been. Like, the guy can just still play. He's a good running back with good vision. Now, granted, I would probably sell him now before the second half of the season.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
The shoe drop.
But you know why it's hot? It's hot. So Sutton, Worthy, Jamo, Olave, or Wandale, start 3. Hit it, Matt.
I'm going Wandale, Olave, and JMO.
All right, Brandon, you the same?
Same here, yeah.
All right, there you go.
Don't worry, guys. I got this.
Worthy's not going to play, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Let's see. Keeping it moving. Would you guys trade A-Chain and Javonte for Bijan?
Yes.
Yes.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get out of here. What are you talking about?
Hear me out. I'm one of those. I mean, you got 2 good running backs. I mean, I'm good. You can get Bijan, but just I'm gonna have to be the odd man. I don't know.
This is the fantasy equivalent of saying I'll give you 2 5s for a 20.
Yeah, this is you're on your own island on this one. Look,
I gotta be on my own.
All right, B, I can help you, man.
Look,
I gotta be on my own on this.
Miami is just so bad right now. Like, I get Javonte will probably be the lead back for Dallas this year, but
They had a good game last night. I mean,
he did, but it required like 8 receptions for 30 yards to do it.
you know, it just, yeah. If you're desperate, if you're banged up already and you're desperate at running back, I could see doing the trade. But if this is like, if I can 2-for-1 it and upgrade to Bijan, I want it, because I think about it like this in fantasy. Like, each roster position has a points threshold, right?
Yeah.
And I need the most points per roster spot. And there's nobody in this trade that's going to consistently have more points per roster spot than Bijan. So if I'm any deep at running back, I'm happy to do this deal. That's me. But Brandon, stick with your guns, bro.
Oh, yeah.
We may be on the outside looking in at the end of the season. Who knows? Captain,
Wait, you have a super chat from Dad Bod. The Browning for a 2027 third in Dynasty.
Oh, did I miss that?
It's down a little bit further. You're getting there.
Okay, I missed it. I can't find it.
It's 950. Trade Browning for a 2027 third in Dynasty.
Yes.
I don't even believe in 3rd round picks. They're meaningless to me. So
I would do it. Amber said, Brandon, you better jump in. These guys love their own voices. Look at that. Give me a little bit of love. Got Ryan over on Twitch. Would you trade Lad McConkey for Rashee Rice? Brandon, let's hear that voice.
I'm sticking with Lad McConkey because he is going to bounce back. Rashee Rice, I'm not in on it. I'm sticking with Lad McConkey.
I'm also in Lad McConkey world.
Give me the Rice.
Although the case could be made for Rice. I can see the case.
There's no way that somebody could get arrested for a car accident and your team wears free Rashee shirts on the field and they don't have big plans for you when you come back.
Only in the NFL.
Only in the NFL. It's crazy.
Oh, I missed the super chat. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
My God, my bad, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're the real OG. Thanks for tuning in and appreciate the super chat. 27 third. I think that you can push it. Give it one more game. I will say this. I would do that trade, but I think you give it one more game and you might can push up a little bit.
Yep.
Well, you have 3 months, so it's like somebody's going to get desperate enough. We haven't hit bye weeks yet. So it's like wait for the bye week pressure, like when you're trying to trade a QB.
Those
It's too early right now.
week 4. So,
Hindi or Tootin this week. I imagine that's supposed to be Henry and
no. Henderson or Tootin.
Henderson.
Oh,
yeah. I think it's Henderson. Even if that's the question, I'm taking Henderson.
I'm taking Henderson. Henderson, it's coming, guys. It's coming. The week is coming. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but the week is coming.
He got out-touched by Gibson. It's Tootin all day.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you, the facts are the facts. I didn't design the offense. I would have given the ball a long time ago.
I'm going to pretend that you didn't say it. All right, drafted Baker and traded I drafted Baker, traded JT for Josh Allen and Cook.
That's a sick trade.
That's how he got it. He did a great trade. That's an insane trade. Who had James Cook as RB1?
Not
me.
James
Cook did when he asked for that contract. He had himself as RB1.
Yes, he did.
All right. Nihal Najjar in the chat. Chargers, Texans, or Colts defense this week.
Who do the Colts get? The Titans?
Colts by the Titans. I'd take the Colts.
Yeah, I'll take the Colts too.
Yeah, the Colts are looking pretty nasty.
Yeah, and the Chargers play the Broncos. I don't like divisional games. And same with the Texans, Jaguars. No thanks, Colts.
All right, rank these quarterbacks: Russ, Geno, Darnold, or Young.
Backwards, and then I think it's right.
And
Young,
maybe flip
Darnold,
Russ
Geno.
and Geno. Flip Russ and Geno. So I go Young, Darnold, Russ, Geno.
This week, Darnold has
this redraft, or are you talking about in Dynasty?
Yeah, which one are you talking about?
I was just ranking them for this year.
Oh,
Dynasty, I think Young is still the first in Dynasty.
For this week, I'm going Darnold, Russ, Young, Geno. Darnold has a great matchup this week, so I have him pretty high in my rankings against the Saints. The Saints are not great.
How you got Young at the top of that list?
Yeah, I'm Young. It's third on my list.
I'm just curious I seen 3 picks in the last 2 weeks, 2 fumbles in the last 2 weeks, 5 total turnovers. Granted, last week he had 300 and something yards passing, but he threw 55 times. Russ threw the
I love Sam Darnold, and I think that seeing him on multiple teams shows you what coaching staffs think about him. He's not going to be a guy they're ever going to try to build long-term around. We know who Geno is. I'm never going to be happy with Geno.
Either.
Russ is kind of the same thing. But if the moon ball comes back, I'll happily say no because
it was back last week. It was here. It came to visit.
If I was late to the party on getting off the train, I just don't think we should forget about Bryce Young just yet.
Okay. I will hear it. I will take it in, and for what it is. Appreciate you, brother. Oh, I love it. I love fantasy. I love that everybody's takes can be different. All right, so I'm gonna try to get through here.
Speed round.
Yeah, well, we're at time in, so I'm gonna hit a couple more questions, and then all I can say is I hope you tune in earlier next time.
And check out Spilled Coffee on Sunday. There's so many other shows that we do content, so just you can get in there, get those questions answered.
Yeah, so Sunday, an hour before kickoff on this channel, we have Spilled Coffee, which is a start-sit Q&A show. They are live. I've got 4 analysts on that show. A great group of folks, so make sure you tune into that. Before that, we have Breakfast with Biggs. If you like pancakes with a side of fantasy takes and preposterous ones at that. I think he has whiskey with his eggs and bacon, so that makes sense. And, we're here every Friday, 9:00. Thank you guys for riding with us. Let's see if we can grab one more. this is not a real question. Should I trade a kicker for Jamar
Real
Chase?
quick, Tyler.
Yes.
So, just to finalize the full circle on the super chat. So, he was saying, are you saying yes, pull the trigger, or no? For
On
the
what?
27 third for Browning.
Wait,
I'm hearing a no and wait.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm saying wait 1 to 2 weeks. I think if he feeds Jamar Chase again this week, Browning, they like Browning. I think that he could have a good start, and even, it's not a long-term fix, but I think that you just get more for him. 27 third is 2 years out. If that third can be moved up to next year, or if I can move that to a second 2 years from now, that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to get one more level up somewhere, whether it be sooner or around one more level up. And I think he can put a week together this week to do it. And I mean, the Cincinnati fan can probably tell you a little bit more, but Minnesota is a bit depleted in the middle of the field. I don't know. Like, it just feels like he could still have a good week.
They're down to Blake Cashman and Andrew Van Ginkel this week. I love Browning.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we'll hit this last one. Well, let's see here. Over on. Nope, think that's going to be it.
Said Cup, Judy, or Devonta Smith this week. He said he's been waiting 8 whole minutes in an hour show. So let's just knock that one out.
Where's it at?
It's the very last question.
Cup.
All right. We got you. Spit coordinate. Come on, dude. I've been waiting at 8 minutes. All right. Your last question of the night. Cup, Judy, or Devonta Smith this week? Matt, who'd you say?
Cup.
Cup for me too.
I think it's Cup. And then let's see here. Nahal, if you make sure you subscribe, and I will hit your question real quick. Are you talking about the he said trade question real quick. You think Bengals could trade for a guy like Kirko Chains? That would be sick. I don't know if that's the one.
It would be sick, but I don't think they're going to do it because, no, the thoughts on the trade, half PPR, I need a running back. I have really good wide receiver depth. Worthy and Downs or Swift and Harvey.
Okay, sorry. Worthy, Downs, or Swift and Harvey?
Swift and Harvey.
Yeah, I want running backs. I want to hoard running backs. Like, I want all the running backs because they get injured and they Dobbins. If Dobbins gets hurt, all of a sudden Harvey is like a huge value, and he's not been bad. Like, when he gets the ball, what did he have? Week 1, he averaged 11 yards a carry. He had 70 yards. Now week 2 was a little grim, but it was Indianapolis and their defense is crazy, and he didn't get touches. Some running backs are rhythm running backs. Like Derrick Henry used to be like that. Like, he needed a few carries to get in the groove. I think RJ Harvey is that. Like, as he gets more carries, he gets looser and he plays better. Just my thoughts, but I'm in agreement with that one. Hopefully that got your question. Appreciate you sticking with us, and hope we got to that.
We did. And Mathiasen asked about Henderson for a bag of chips. As long as it's cheddar and sour cream or sour cream and onion, valid trade. We also would have accepted the purple Doritos, the sweet chili, because they're the best flavor in the business. But dude, Tyler, before we sign off, we do need to make sure that the people know where they can find Matt and Brandon on the interwebs so that they can check out their content, because these are super good ball knowers that y'all need to be checking out on a weekly basis.
Absolutely. First off, I want to thank y'all for having me on. You can check out my TikTok at the letter B8_Thomas. I post try to post pretty much every day, starts and sits, and give you my thoughts on each week. So definitely give me a follow. I'll definitely appreciate it.
I'm Matt Monty. I'm on X at Matt Monty FF. I'm a writer for Football Guys. I currently have an article coming out each week called the IDP Stock Market. I go over 12 players each week. And then I just started my own podcast with Dynasty DGens. It's called the DGens IDP Blitz. I'm on episode 3 right now, so still working out the kinks. Not near as good as these professionals on here today.
Come on, Matt.
One day.
The first time I did a show, I didn't know that I started the show, and then I had to say a couple swear words and then hit them. So you're doing great.
All right. Look, you know where to find us every week, 9:00 Central, right here in the house. Get in early, drop your questions. We will get to them as soon as we can. And it's always a good time. I'm ready for week 3. Ready to see how it continues to roll. All my teams need to level up to 3-0. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not 2-0 in every single league, but we're doing pretty good, guys. We're doing pretty good. But again, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. We will see you next week, 9:00 Central from the forum. Have a good night. Peace.
Peace.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com.